I don't know what's crazier, the fact that people took Tyra Banks so seriously back then, or the fact that she was able to get away with humiliating all these women on national TV for over 20 seasons of this show.
I've been working so hard, I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Today you guys are gonna learn about acting!
You've been through your grandmother getting her lights turned off to buy you a swimsuit for this competition.
And Jocelyn, you have such a beautiful strength. And for somebody to get up and be so sick, but still to perform, that's a survivor. And Jocelyn, you'll be able to survive this. Alina. Oh my God!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning back in. I'm back with another video, and this is going to be a new video. This may be the start of a new series, depending on how this video does. With this new series, I want to talk about some older shows that were problematic, that were so popular back in the day, but when you watch them back as an adult, or nowadays, it's like, wow, they really got away with this. Tyra Banks in the America's Next Top Model series, she really got away with humiliating women, torturing women, the psychological warfare, gaslighting, and putting them through all of this mental abuse, mental stress, just for the sake of ratings and views, under the guise of, oh, I'm a supermodel, you know, I'm almost to retirement, I'm trying to help y'all, I'm trying to help this new generation of models. You trying to help them or embarrass them on TV for ratings?
Quiet, everybody, be quiet! That's what is wrong with you, but you're not. Stop it!
It's not just Tyra, it was Miss J, all the judges, Dennis Dickinson, Nigel Barker, Mr. J, the creative director. I'm gonna get into all of that. All of them as a collective. Ken Mock, did I mention him? He was also the producer. All of them as a collective helmed the show. And at the time, here's another thing I want to talk about. You know, a lot of guys don't like to admit, but they watched the show too. Being younger, I didn't have that much choice of what my mother watched. Whatever my mother watched, that's what I was watching. So watching the show when I was younger with my mother, I was like, okay. It just became a habit to watch the new season, just like American Idol. But looking back at it now, I know a few years ago, a lot of clips went viral. A lot of people were like roasting Tyra and all the judges and Mr. J for all the nastiness and just torturing they were doing to these models, these aspiring models. They look up to the show, they look up to Tyra Banks like, oh, Tyra Banks, she picked me for her show, I'm gonna be a model, or I'm gonna get advice and tips. But it wasn't that easy. You signed up for the show, you signed up to be embarrassed.
Girl, you walk like you on crack.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, at one point I feel like Tyra did wanna help models. She did wanna search for models, the new supermodel, the new top model. But I feel like as the show went on, it got more popular. Tyra got more popular. She got more powerful. It became like a social experiment to see how much she could get away with. She got away with a lot. The women on the show casted were like toys, life-size Barbie dolls. They could do whatever they want, say whatever they want, gaslight them, embarrass them, and just pick and choose when and how and what they wanted their storylines to be, to fit the narrative of the show. They take 50 pictures, you choose this one picture. You mean to tell me this was her best shot? We saw them doing all kind of poses and doing this and doing this. Then the final picture is them like,
That doesn't make no sense.
was that her best shot? Or was her storyline running out? Then Mr. J, being the creative director, most of the time all he did was direct them to a bad picture to be chosen so they could get sent home, or get put in the bottom two so they could learn a lesson, or it could scare them to, see, you didn't follow what we said, or your storyline is running out, you in the bottom two, be careful. That was like a warning. It was all these little things. Like when you watch back, you're like, wow. When it was airing, it was like, okay, you was like taking it seriously. Not taking it seriously, but you was just like, oh. You was on their side because they supposed to be the experts, the professionals, when really this was all crafted to entertain. To kick things off, I want to talk about certain clips. And there's so many different clips that have went viral, so many different clips and moments from the show I could talk about. And this is why I think I'm gonna have to make a part 2. But starting off, I want to talk about this clip right here.
Looks like you're about to ride a giraffe. I think
I'm not feeling it.
You have this intensity to prove your sort of Africanness, and I think that sometimes it's overbearing. It's just too much. It's sort of a layer on top of a layer.
The challenge was they had to choose a hat. Now you see Yaya's a black woman, and they had different hats. She chose a cowboy looking hat. She didn't choose an African type hat. And you could tell by her accessories, the way she was dressed. The judge, whoever she was, tells her, oh, you have this sort of thing to prove your Africanness. It's overbearing. And it's like, whoa. And you can see Tyra with an afro in her head kind of looks at her and rolls her eyes.
Africanness, and I think that sometimes it's overbearing. It's just too much.
But she doesn't say nothing. No, you're supposed to be a supermodel. You're supposed to be an advocate for women, for black women, especially as a black supermodel, and all the success that she's had. You don't say nothing to the judge, but to Yaya, you're like...
There's a different way of explaining yourself and being defensive. And you're being very defensive. And it's not attractive. You want your outfit to be, look at me. And this outfit is, look over there.
At the end, you can see that she tries to call her condescending and like, oh, basically, get off your pedestal.
That superiority, condescending attitude. But what's not amazing is your appearance. Think a little bit more glamour as opposed to natural. It was like you were on this pedestal and this hat smelled like dookie.
I noticed this a lot. With some of the black models that were confident, Tyra tried to knock them down. Like, okay, I was a black model in this industry. I didn't have it easy. I'm not gonna make it easy for you. You on this show, you on my show. Okay, you have confidence? Let me knock you down a few pegs. That's what she always did with the black models who were confident within themselves or their image or their look. She took some of the black models having confidence as arrogance or snootiness. And that's not the only time they got on Yaya. It was another photo shoot where they had to be natural, no makeup. And then the thing was to see how much retouching they needed. Like, oh, okay, this is your face with the retouching, this is your face without the retouching, and they would do a back and forth. Without the retouching, her skin wasn't flawless. Nobody's really is. She had maybe like a few lines or bags or whatever. And then Nigel, the photographer, like, oh.
See your unretouched photo.
You have to work on that skin. You drink more water.
Really? You see what I'm talking about? Oh, just drink more water. Like, drinking water is just going to erase all your acne problems. Anybody that has went through puberty, has had acne problems, skin problems, they know that water is not the end all be all. If you could drink water and then the next morning your face is clear, it will be no problem. Proactive or other skin products will be out of business if just drinking water was the end all be all solution, but it's not. Then another black model on the show, Kelly, she goes up there and they embarrass her even more.
Let's see your unretouched shot.
It's like a Hitchcock film. Go back and forth really fast to see what I mean.
And is it me or the before and after wasn't even that drastic? And Janice Dickinson talking about some ooh ah, ooh ah, ooh ah. Like making monkey noises, trying to compare her before and after pictures. And she's standing there and then here comes Tyra. You know, the psychological, oh, Kelly, what's wrong?
How are you feeling right now, Kelly? You look a little...
It's very shocking to see it like this.
Like, anytime that they saw the model getting sadder, here comes Tyra with the, what's wrong? Are you about to cry? Okay, make sure you look at the camera. We need this for the episode ratings. Kelly tries to defend herself, talking about like how she was at the photo shoot. The Tyra's like,
Place the blame on someone else.
I'm not
no, yes, you are. Right now, you're not growing.
Take it all the criticism we give you.
Oh my God.
When they try to defend themselves, stand up for themselves, oh, they don't listen. They talking back. They in the bottom two. But then when they were reserved, or you know, the models that weren't so outgoing, they were shy. They had no personality. Who are you? Do you really want to be here? Do you really want this? Speaking of models really wanting this, really wanting to be there, we cannot forget the most infamous scene from the whole entire series when Tyra yelled at Tiffany. She had that red hair.
Can you guys stand in front of me? I just want to say one more thing. Tiffany, I'm extremely disappointed in you. This is a joke to you. You've been through your grandmother getting her lights turned off to buy you a swimsuit for this competition. And then you come in here and you treat this like a joke? I was rooting for you! We were all rooting for you! How dare you! Learn something from this!
Before social media, that kind of went viral because it was like, wow, Tyra's screaming at one of the models. But when you look at it now, You realize the only reason Tyra was screaming at Tiffany was because she didn't cry. You know, this was the little black girl from the hood that they was going to make her to a superstar model. That's what we was rooting for you. We were all rooting. Like Tyra's like, damn, you know, I'm sending you home. You're supposed to cry. What's wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Damn, I'm sending her home. Is she not crying? She not breaking down? Oh, no. She not giving me a moment? I'm going to make a moment. That's what that was. We were all rooting for you. Learn from this. I never had to yell at a girl like this. And when you really look at it, she was only yelling at her because she didn't cry being sent home. You already sent her home. What was her crying going to do? You already sent her home. Like, this is the thing. It's not like she was in the bottom two. You gave her another chance. You were sending her home. What else was she supposed to do? You want her to get on her knees and beg, oh, please, Tyra, please, get me out the hood. I need the show. That's what you wanted? It wasn't going to happen. The show, I got to say, it did produce some good pictures. They did have some good moments. At certain points, Tyra would give them good advice. The show did have its good moments. But a compare and contrast to the craziness versus the good moments, a drastic difference. If they would pick one picture out of like maybe 50 or 60 or 70 pictures they took, one picture that who knows who chose, maybe Tyra, maybe the producers, like I said, maybe her storyline for the model was running out, so it's like, we're gonna choose this one random picture of her doing something, and the judges would go in and just roast it. Like, for example, say this picture of Aaliyah. Say Aaliyah was a contestant on the show, right? And this is the final picture. The picture, this is a nice picture, but they would just pick it apart. Oh, look at your hair, look at your hands. Oh, Aaliyah, okay, we like your pose, but you seem unsure of yourself. Tyra, you're not smizing. Aaliyah, do you really want to be here? Do you really want this? I guarantee you, for all the bad pictures that were chosen, there were 10 good ones, but they purposely skipped over them like, oh wow, this picture's kind of good, but it's our time to go home, right? Oh, okay, you want to put in the bottom two this week? Okay, let's choose this picture. That's what they did. I don't care what nobody said. Back to the clips. Another infamous clip was the whole Gap Gate with Danielle from season 5, I think, where it was this whole thing. Danielle had a gap. She had a heavy Southern accent. The whole show, Tyra and the other judges just harped on her, picked on her for her accent that she can't control. She can't control that she have a gap. She can't control that she has a heavy accent. And she took good pictures, but it was like, oh, your gap.
Do you really think you can have a cover girl contract with a gap in your mouth?
Yeah, why not?
This is all people see. It's easier, he's beautiful cover girl. It's not marketable.
Yeah, just a little bit is okay, but I don't want to completely close it.
Well, I guess she just left the gap wide open for another girl, baby.
I agree.
You see how hard Tyra would go? Instead of just suggesting something or saying something, Tyra's like making fun of her. You see how easy it is, how comfortable Tyra is just making fun of them? Because, you know, I'm the face of the show. This is my show. So she just felt so comfortable making fun of the models, especially I feel like the black models. And look at this. She was telling Danielle, the black girl, oh, that's not marketable. You got to close that. But a few seasons later, there was a white model that had a gap. She made the white girl widen her gap. Wow, Tyra, the black girl with a gap is ghetto and not marketable. But a white girl that has a gap, you make her widen it so she can be more marketable and high fashion.
Could somebody please make it make sense?
A lot of people like to say, oh, at the time, that's what it was. That was the norm. But Tyra, you presented this show like it was supposed to be so groundbreaking. You were supposed to be breaking the norms, but you were enforcing them. Supposed to be breaking the stereotypes, but you were enforcing them. Oh, the black girl with the gap in the Southern accent, that's not marketable. Tyra, this was your show. This was your opportunity to be like, okay, you got your gap, but you can still do this. You got your gap, but you can still do that. Instead, you pressured her into closing it. And when she didn't, you put her in the bottom two. For this video, the last clip I want to talk about is that whole scene with Carrie D in the freezing pool.
Okay now? Okay.
Do you feel something strange? Say it, okay?
Now the context with this is, it was a top 4. they wanted to do a photo shoot in the pool, 2 girls each. Carrie D had a reaction where it was freezing cold, but it affected her more than the other 3 models.
Like, I feel like my skin and everything is just like pins and needles.
Tyra hears this, she sees how she's reacting. Carrie D is in the pool almost convulsing. This is what Tyra said.
Carrie D, you're from Fargo. Come on. I forgot. This is real modeling, guys. Being cold as heck.
So you're pressuring her to stay in that cold water and suffer, torture herself just to get a good shot. When you think about it, in the real world, you see a picture of a model in water. We don't know if it's cold, hot, warm, whatever. Why would you put them in that unnecessary condition to have a freezing cold pool just for the shot? When we're looking at a picture, we can't tell if it's hot or cold. When you want your model in the best conditions, in the most comfortable conditions to get the best shot, the water is freezing cold, they're gonna be Tyra,
You're a dummy, bitch.
Then at the end of the shoot, Carrie D gets hypothermia where she has to get taken out and they realize, oh, this is serious. Then here goes Tyra.
You need to tell people when you're past your limit.
You have to listen to your body and you have to tell us, okay? Okay. Because all we know is go, 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 go.
Tyra, this wasn't enough for you?
Do you feel something?
See how she gaslit her? She was freezing cold. She told them it was cold. She went to the edge. She's shaking, almost like she's about to have like a seizure. And then here goes Tyra. Oh, this is what it takes. Oh, this is real modeling. This is the real world. So you gaslit her like, oh, you should speak up. But when she did speak up, you were basically telling her like, oh, if you don't finish taking this picture, you're gonna go home. It's crazy because Tyra had this thing where she talks about herself, what she used to have to go through. Oh, I had to hike through Antarctica for 3 days and fight a polar bear, and I still made it work. You can't take this little freezing pool. Carrie D, do you really want to be here? Do you really want this?
This is real modeling, guys. Being cold as heck.
See what I'm saying? When Carrie D did speak up, she made it seem like she was too weak or she was complaining. But then when you saw that it was serious, she almost died. Then it was, oh, Carrie D, you got to speak up. You got to let us know when it's too much.
I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Tyra, you will pay for these crimes. You will pay for humiliating these women on national TV for the sake of entertainment under the guise of, I'm helping you become a supermodel. This is what it takes. It's like, no, you just want to embarrass them for views and ratings. And I got so many more clips. Hopefully this video does well because I want to do more parts. There's so much more to talk about. I want to know from you guys, from these clips, if you watch the show, you watch it now as an adult, what did you think about it? What did you think about the abuse, the mental, physical abuse, psychological abuse that Tyra and the judges and the producers put these models through just for the sake of entertainment? What were some of your favorite contestants? What were some of your favorite photo shoots? Let me know down below. Let's really get the discussion started. Let's really talk about this because this is one of those shows that was so popular back then. But when you look at it now, you're like, whoa. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching and listening. I'll see y'all in the next video.